Hi, this is Dave Tanner, CEO of the Sacramento Association of Realtors. It is December 10th, and I'm talking to you today about an update on the COVID status related to the real estate industry. As you know, ever since the COVID began, it's been a violation of the state regulations to hold open houses. That being said, there are still some licensees out there that have been choosing to hold open houses. This has been frustrating both to consumers and also to other members of the association. We've received a lot of calls complaining about it. Unfortunately, SAR doesn't have any authority to do anything directly to stop those open houses. I cannot go out there to an open house and say, I'm Dave Tanner, CEO of Sacramento Association of Realtors, and I'm ordering you to shut this down. SAR does not have that kind of authority. Our disciplinary authority is primarily related to violations of the Code of Ethics or violations of the rules of membership in the association. If somebody's holding a house open, there are three things that you can do. The first is call the broker. Oftentimes, the broker will not know the individuals holding that open house, and if you call the broker, they may talk to the agent and tell them not to do that. The second thing is, if they're holding an open house and they're putting out signs that says open house, and when a consumer goes there, they find out that it's not truly an open house where you can just walk in. They're told they have to make an appointment, they have to fill out a PEAV form, they have to follow other regulations. Then that's not truly an open house. And if that's a situation, then you can file a complaint with the association under the Code of Ethics. And in that case, then we have the authority to pursue a violation of Article 12 for false advertising. The third thing that we were originally suggesting that people could do was call Sacramento County phone number 311. And the county had earlier indicated that they would follow up and do something about it. In fact, that never happened on the part of the county. So now our third step is not to call 311. Our third step is to call DRE. DRE now says that violation of the showing protocols is a violation of state law, which is punishable against a licensee by the Department of Real Estate. They've established a COVID violation hotline. The number is 877-373-4542. That is 877-373-4542. They've advised SAR that if somebody calls that number, files a complaint, tells them the name of a showing protocol that's being violated, either somebody holding an open house or somebody not sanitizing between visitors or whatever, that you give them the information along with the name of the broker, the location of the open house. Remember that that's a statewide number, so you're going to have to give them the location of where the open house is being held. They will look into it. They will contact the broker the first time and tell the broker that that is inappropriate. If they get a second complaint against the same broker, then they will look at taking disciplinary action against the broker's license based upon a violation of the ethics protocols. So DRE now is taking it seriously. You have some teeth in violations. If people are violating, I encourage you to report it. But I encourage you to take the first step first. Call the broker. Very often the broker will put a stop to it and you don't have to go through any of the other steps. But if you call the broker once and that doesn't happen, then you have the ability to file an ethics complaint or to contact the Department of Real Estate. So that's what's happening with violations of the Code of Ethics or the showing protocols. Now also today, which is November 10th, 2020, the status of restrictions due to COVID in Sacramento County has changed. It will be changing in a few hours at 11:59 p.m. this evening. We go back to a more restricted status. It restricts a lot of things, primarily in other industries. Restaurants are closed. You cannot eat in or eat outside at the restaurant. You can only have food for pickup or have it delivered. Bars are closed. A lot of other things have happened. However, the impact of that is not significant on the real estate industry. We are still an essential business. We are still able to conduct our business. We just have to make sure that we conduct it following all of the protocols in place. Ever since the restrictions on COVID came into being, we were restricted in in showing properties, restricted to the showing agent plus 2 other individuals. Maximum of 3 people going to the property at any one time, the agent and 2 other individuals. That stays the same. The new regulations in any position allow us to have 6 members from a maximum of 2 different households. So that's basically what you're going to have in more situations. The showing broker and 2 other individuals from the same household. So those type of restrictions are not going to impact us that much. They will put some restrictions on. Obviously, that's an even greater restriction on open houses, because it says that there can be no public gatherings. So I'm pretty sure that an open house would be considered to be a public gathering. So if you're trying to hold an open house, you're violating even further the new restrictions in place for no public gatherings. It's important to know is that the restrictions went in place, they will go in place as of midnight tonight, 11:59 p.m. tonight. They will remain in place until 3 weeks from today, which is 11:59 p.m. on New Year's Eve. So basically, the new restrictions are in place for the balance of 2020. But on New Year's Eve 2020, the restrictions do not automatically go away. At that time, the health department personnel will have to make an evaluation of the status of the ICU bed availability. The restrictions went into place because our bed availability fell below 15% of all ICU beds in the region. When you have an availability of less than 15%, that's when you have the new restrictions. For the restrictions to be lifted 3 weeks from now, at that time they have to make a determination that for the next 4 weeks after that date, that they are forecasting that the ICU bed availability will exceed 15%. My feeling is that is not likely to be the case. Several people from the health department industry reported that in normal years, this time of year, with the flu being active, that ICU availability often falls to less than 10 or even less than 5%. So expecting it to get above 15% with a combination of both flu and pandemic is probably not realistic. And so I would anticipate that we are probably going to be operating in these restricted conditions for another couple of months, probably until we start seeing some significant impact from the giving of the vaccinations, which are due to start next week. So the good news is no significant impact on the real estate industry. We should continue enjoying a good and active market. For those of you that have been violating the law by holding open houses, you need to stop it immediately. This is not about making money. This is not about earning commissions. This is about watching out for the health and welfare of all human beings. There is absolutely no commission worth exposing yourself to the virus and taking it home and spreading it in your family. How much commission would you have to make it worthwhile taking the virus home and give it to grandma who becomes deathly ill from exposure to it? So let's just behave ourselves for a couple more months. no open houses, follow the rules, follow the showing protocols, make sure that you sanitize properties when you've been through them, and 3 months from now, 4 months from now, we can return to a fairly normal market. This will be behind us. The good thing is that we have been going through this now for 9 months already. We probably should be looking at going through it for another 3 months before the vaccines are taking significant impact. But that means that we are already 75% of the way there. So let's just stay with it. Let's behave ourselves. Let's do what we need to do for the remaining time period. And let's all be safe at the end of the pandemic environment. Thank you all. Take care of yourselves, take care of your neighbors, take care of your clients, and enjoy the holidays to the maximum extent that these restrictions allow. Thank you for listening.